皆さんこんにちは、タッカーです。NBA という経験とやっていきます。前回からそんな経ってないです。能力こんな感じですね。行きましょう。さっさと行きましょう。いやー、なんか試合の出番がね、多くなってっからね。今の歌知らないよ。多分ゲーム内じゃないか。
I'm gonna be platinum soon.
Do you realize that we fly charter? You don't get points for that, boo-boo. How are you even calculating that?
Man.
You a special one, man.
Know what I mean?
もう疲れてんのに交代させてくんないからね。なかなか活躍ができないんで、後半になるんで。シュート練習です。これはシュートです。さて、試合を始めちゃうか。
The Stars Spangled and before. Okay, David, much appreciated. Well, Chris, as we get deeper into the season, it becomes clear to us, the fans, who the real title contenders are. You were on some teams that were considered title contenders. When did you know that this was the way your team was going to go?
Well, I think you know you can go all the way when you come in to training camp. You have a special feeling. You know each player's skill set. You know how they can add to yours. You understand the chemistry. I don't think any team comes together in the beginning of the season and doesn't expect that they can win a championship, the ones that really have a legitimate chance. It's not like you can say, hey, I didn't know we were that good. Hey, we can vie for the championship. No, I think most teams go into the season from the last year saying, you know what, next year is our year, and that's how we were. We prepared for it for day one in training camp. That's how we approached it. And being on bad teams, you don't even mention championship. You say, hey, we need to get better every day. That's a code for it. We're going to be bad, but let's keep our head up and take this punch in the face and keep it going.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. Taking a look at the 76ers. The incredible Simmons and Embiid down low. Fultz is out there with Bellinelli, and it's DJ in at the small forward position. So it's the Celtics now, after Markelle Fultz made that last three-pointer. Horford sets a screen for Morris. Here's Tatum. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. And it's the 76ers with the ball. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
But I like that they attacked those weaknesses. They made them pay for a lackluster effort.
Now here's Simmons. His last outing, he had 8 points. They get it again. And that one's good, DJ.
Oh, DJ, going to work on the offensive glass, using his athleticism to hunt down second chance opportunities.
Nicked by Horford. Rozier kicks to Morris. Sinks the triple. Morris has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Last game for the Celtics, it was a loss to New Orleans.
And the big problem, they got trigger happy. That shot was very low percentage from beyond the arc.
Well, the obvious solve is to go to the basket. I mean, there were some open lanes. They were just unwilling to take advantage of it.
Here's Smart after Ben Simmons' bucket. Morris with the bucket.
Terrific use of the catch-and-shoot jumper for Morris, catching the D flat-footed and torching them as a result.
This is to Bellinelli. Passes it to Embiid. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts. And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years. And a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
The 76ers lead. Simmons passes to DJ. Down low. And Bellinelli kicks to DJ. Wants to get it to Simmons and does. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Yeah, how about the concentration by the 6'10" Simmons? Ridiculously good at completing these chances despite the D's best efforts.
Well, the one thing you notice about the Celtics, they look for players with a chip on their shoulder. They want players with that inner fire, that love competition. That's how you protect the rim. Stand your ground and make him fall to your knees.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says thank you very much and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
And you look up and down the Celtics roster, Chris, a lot of guys who play with a chip on their shoulder.
Well, that's how you build a culture. It rubs off on the other players. I mean, you have to find those guys, though. It's not something you can teach.
And stolen by DJ. Now here's Fultz. He's covered closely. Pass to Embiid. 17-foot shot on the way. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Celtics trail by 7. Smart kicks to Tatum. The Celtics working the ball around now. Here's Horford. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
The Celtics have gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Smart passes to Rozier. Boston again missing.
A defender nowhere near him, and he still can't hit it. He wants that one back.
Feeds it to DJ. And the 76ers get it back. And the shot goes in from Embiid. Boston's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. So the Celtics call timeout. They're first. And Chris, as your career progressed, your free throw shooting percentage jumped up about 20 points higher than when you started. It's not the case for a lot of players. Just how hard is it for a big man to improve their free throw shooting throughout their career?
Okay, that's probably one of the things I'm proudest of is that I have a record for going from worst to that best improvement. And I worked out hard. I had a shooting coach, Buzz. We worked out every summer. I would take him everywhere with me, Kev. I mean,
really?
I would take this guy to the club, to church, to a restaurant, to he'd have to wait outside the bathroom. Everywhere I went that summer, I wanted him, with me because you have to focus and concentrate on it. You think about it, you have to change not only your mental habits, your repetition, but your thought process. So step 1 is the figuring out that shot. Step 2 is how many repetitions. Step 3 is can you get that in game time atmosphere. And you really can unless you punish yourself in the summer with running. So if you have to do a suicide every one you miss, or it just was just so much work and intensity on it because you have to build up so much trust. Because the reason why guys shoot bad free throws, they don't trust it. They shoot a different way every time. And it was fun becoming better at that, but that's probably one of the toughest things I've ever done is get better at shooting free throws because the concentration and the time allowed it to try to improve.
And 101 left to play in the first. Larkin dishes to Baines. And stolen by Redick. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Redick's got his first basket of the night.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Oh, okay, you've done your job so far, but the question is now, can they sustain this level of energy? There's still a lot of game to play.
Now here's Monroe. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Well, for the Celtics, their trade with the Nets is the gold standard for asset hunting. But a lot of smaller deals along the way, fortifying their roster.
Yeah, they ended up with the top pick this past year. Though they traded out of it, I mean, have a good chance to even get more top picks. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Here's DJ. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Toronto.
Well, his rebounding stood out, too. He gave them a big lift on the board.
No good. He has missed 3 of his 5 attempts this game. Brown against Redick. And it's Brown missing.
A hand right in his face on the layup. Excellent defense that time in the paint.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Yeah, you got to love it. Everything's working. Offense, defense, already a big lead.
And so it's Philadelphia going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
いいんじゃない？第1クォーターはかなりリードしたぞ。 なんかスキップできないけど、何なんだろうね。
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, what's your take so far on Philadelphia?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
Oh, yeah, small lead so far, but it's building fast, and they better watch out.
And so, in the game for the 76ers, they've got DJ, Rashawn Holmes out there with Sharp. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's McConnell in at point guard.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
And for the Sixers, a lot of missed rookie seasons over the years. First Nerlens Noel, then Joel Embiid, now Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but in many cases, I think they drafted them knowing they might be out of commission for a while. Still, I think the Philly fans probably hope not to hear the phrase foot fracture for a long time. Hopefully, they can keep everybody healthy and get this thing moving forward.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, DJ in the last matchup against the Raptors did a lot of good work. He picked up 12 points and added to his contribution as well, getting to the foul line. His dominating performance gave the team exactly what it needed to end the losing streak. I'm sure he'll be looking to lead him again tonight, Kevin.
Thanks, David. It was a terrific game for him. They'll be looking for more of the same tonight.
And I'd be surprised if he doesn't give it to them. He's in a very good frame of mind right now.
Well, if he brings the same energy in this game that he brought into that one, it's going to be another big night for him.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for the 76ers. Wells comes in for J.J. Redick. Here's Brown, and then Brown with the dunk.
Oh, you love the level of concentration Brown maintains. I mean, taking the hit well and finishing in style.
The 76ers leading by 8. McConnell kicks to DJ. The feed to Ilyasova. Now the pass to McConnell. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Wells from outside the arc. Nailed from three-point land. Wells has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. Chris, I know that when you go through a season, there are certain matchups that you love and certain ones that you don't. When you were playing, which other power forwards did you just dread, just did not like going up against?
Well, Kevin, I would kind of change that and say dread to me was love, meaning that I dreaded and I loved to go up against Tim Duncan because you knew you had to be prepared that night. I loved and I dreaded going up against KG. You know, I played in the era where in 1 week, I could have played against Shaq, Rasheed Wallace, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon. This is all on the West Coast. So for me, you know, I dreaded the Western Conference, but what's so good about it is that you just have to be prepared. And you can't dread the NBA. It's like you grew up wanting to play against the best players in life. And so I really loved the fact that I had to be my best every night or you're going to get embarrassed in the league. So it was every power forward.
Never an off night, was there, Chris?
Never an off night. And, you know, so I can't say I dreaded Karl Malone over Barkley or Olajuwon over David Robinson or Tim Duncan over KG. It's just like, hey, man, you got to put your big boy pants on, get ready, and go to work, baby. Put your hard hat on.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
You know the saying, numbers don't lie. You can see it up there on the scoreboard.
Smart passes to Brown. Ring shot on the way. Boston with a new 24. Tice, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
How about the offensive rebound with a little extra punch on the putback?
You're right, Greg. As they look to trim the deficit, could we see them send a few more bodies to the boards from here on out? Maybe, just maybe, and some changes here. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers in command with... We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Ben Simmons in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he really gave them a boost in that first half, shot way above his average.
Oh, this is like found money, completely unexpected, but it feels great when it happens.
Morris is the 4 with Horford in the middle. Smart is out there with Rozier, and it's Tatum in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Brad Stevens getting going here in the second half. Now here's Smart. Bellinelli is covering. A floater. Smart misses.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Now look, Marcus Morris, he's a player who's never going to be a star when you look at the stats, but he brings a great amount to the team, usually the heart and soul of his team. He can score in a multitude of ways, inside and outside.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Count that bucket.
And Tatum already showing some efficiency from beyond. Fantastic at getting the position he wants for the shot.
And it's DJ missing. And C-Webb, as you mentioned with Morris, the value he brings in his ability to fill in gaps on a roster. Very much a glue guy that is needed for successful teams.
Well, yeah, Kevin, and I like the mentality that Morris brings to the group. I like his heart. He's never afraid to go at a defender one-on-one, keeps his teammates involved, holds his guys accountable, love his game.
The 76ers leading by 16. And Bellinelli kicks to Simmons. He feeds it to Fultz. There's the dish to DJ. Over to the wing. Fultz with the ball. Now guarded by Tatum. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
You got to keep pace with Fultz. He can't afford to lose him off the screen. He really shoots it well.
Smart dishes to Horford. Over Embiid. And the shot falls short this time.
Having a little bit of trouble at the start of the half. Only 1 for 4 from the field.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded closely. Celtics trail by 18. Kicks it to Smart. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. He dishes it to Horford. Again, the miss by Horford.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And Simmons kicks to Embiid. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Embiid's got 10 points.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
And you see he's not worried about what's on the scoreboard. He just wants to go ham each possession.
Sharks checked in for Bellinelli. Celtics have gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. Very slow start offensively. Larkin kicks to Smart. Screen by Monroe. Smart passes to Monroe. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Brownie's checked in for the Celtics. And the 76ers also making a change. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Joel Embiid.
Oh, and sometimes there's just no slowing DJ down. I mean, he excels at getting his shot off in time over the defense.
And the Celtics franchise with the league-leading 17 NBA championships, their last in 2008.
Yeah, and with the talent and assets they possess, they might be in the hunt for banner number 18 before you know it. One of the beasts of the East, without question. Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defenses adjust, though.
Now here's Ilyasova. Defense right on him. He kicks it to Simmons. And again, it's Philadelphia.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Larkin kicks to Brown. To the left wing. Now here's Tatum. Guarded closely. Larkin kicks to Tatum. Boston needs to get off a shot. Here's Monroe. And he overshot that one, missing. The 76ers leading by 20. Dishes it to DJ.
また間違えた。
It's hauled in by Brown.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
よし、入らん
I'd
で
love to hear his explanation, the coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Fultz, no good. The Celtics have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Screen by Monroe. Larkin kicks to Tatum. And stolen by DJ. They push it up 4 on 3. Here's Simmons. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
And how about the performance we're seeing from him? Not one miss on the day.
He's had a few chances at the line, 1 of 3 in the game.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Boston. Terry Rozier comes in for Larkin. J.J. Redick's checked in for the 76ers. T.J. McConnell comes in for Ilyasova.
L2 に通す
Rozier the pass to Monroe.
ドライブか。ドライブ中に L2 に通すか。
Tries again. It's blocked. And he's able to get it back. That doesn't go either from Monroe.
He's still looking to get into a groove this quarter.
DJ dishes to Simmons. And that one, good. Simmons got 16 points.
When you're open, DJ will find you a team-first guy who plays well within the offense.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
And Ben Simmons, who was the first pick in 2016 out of LSU, probably the most heralded player to come out of that school since the great Shaquille O'Neal. And I tell you what, Simmons has drawn some comparisons to some other greats, most notably LeBron James and Magic Johnson.
And the 76ers making a change here. Holmes checked in, screened by Monroe, and stolen by Redick. Now the 76ers on the break. Here's Sharich, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the 76ers.
And no doubt they relied upon that 3-point shot to provide a big chunk of their scoring. Now, that's been a trend in the modern NBA, and they took that philosophy and ran with it.
There's Brown with the 3, and Philadelphia grabs the miss. Greg, the Sixers want to ease him into it, but they see Ben Simmons not just as a point forward, but a point guard as well.
And he's got all the ability. Think about this. The Sixers haven't had a player 6'10 or taller average over 3 assists since Wilt Chamberlain back in 1967. The second they drafted Simmons, you knew that would change.
And the Celtics making a change here. Morris is checked in, passes to Rozier. They need this. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Oh, the fearlessness by Rozier. That's what helps him earn the trip to the stripe.
The Celtics shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And so he hits both. There's 31 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. McConnell kicks to DJ. There's a screen. Pass to Holmes. Wide open. And he gets the jumper to drop. Holmes got his 3rd bucket of the night.
DJ, he has a good feel for the game. Solid at recognizing when to dish it off to his teammates.
Here's Rozier. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Monroe left side. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's Philadelphia rolling along with a 27-point lead as we wrap up a quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. Right back after this break. Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Pace of play is a big part of tonight, okay?
Both teams will make substitutions. And Chris, we often talk about what makes a good coach or a good player, but to change it up a bit, what do you think is an aspect of being a good general manager in the NBA?
I think being a good manager is about a couple of things. Knowing how to manipulate and deal with the salary cap so that you can bring the best players around each other, but the skill sets have to fit. Best players aren't just what a guy has done in the past or how many points he scored or how many records that he's broken. It's about, does his skill set fit with another player? So you don't want two guys that are ball handlers on the same team, or you don't want two guys that need a ball handler to facilitate, and therefore you don't have anyone to penetrate. So someone that knows how to weave and interject different skill sets that complement each other, I think is the type of GM that is successful in this league.
Sometimes easier said than done, though, right?
I think most times easier said than done because a lot of GMs have some great ideas, but they need someone else to help in that trade or a player that's willing. And so, you know, you have a lot of moving factors right there.
And so in the game for the 76ers, EJ out there with Ilyasova. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's T.J. McConnell, and it's Holmes in at the 5. Ilyasova, count that bucket.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the 76ers.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so it'll boost this year's win total for them to 29.
And not just a win tonight, guys, but a win on the season series as well, as they finish with 3 out of 4 games against this opponent.
Well, I think one of the keys that helped them tonight was the big-time performance for DJ.
Well, anytime the offense ran through him, good things happened. His passing was awesome. He created a bunch of good looks for everyone else out there.
McConnell passes to Holmes. It's DJ atop the key. Shot clock at 5. To the wing on the left. Here's the 3. And the foul called on DJ. That's his first foul.
Yeah, a little too physical on that play. Tries to climb over the top of him and gets whistled for it.
You got to be a little more in control than that. The officials are never going to let you get away with that.
Shane Larkin. Here's Rozier. So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team.
まあなんともな感じでしたがね。ああ、ちゃんとシュート取れたな、そういえば。アンクルブレーカーとかもうちょっとなんだよね。よし、OK。
I may need to hit the treadmill. I ain't even break a sweat out there tonight.
Yeah, that's because you sat for most of the second half.
After all the buckets I put up in such a big league, I deserve a rest.
That is what I call a win!
Woo! Woo!
Yes! Yes!
スンって座るの面白いね。さてと、じゃあ今回ここまでかな。適当に860なんか微妙なとこだな。レイアップぐらいしか無理じゃねえ。あとパスとか。パスあげよう。よし、こんなもんかね。じゃあ今回はここまでと。よいしょ。お、なんかあんのかい。
DJ, you're up next. Let's go.
Okay, you got it. 記者会見。まあ一応持ってこう。なんだろうね。
Remember, DJ, keep it simple.
I got this, Hannah.
翻訳もなんだろう。ちゃんとなっていない感じっていうかそんな感じ。
DJ, you were really locked in defensively tonight.
そうか。まあ話題変えないように。
Yeah, it felt that way. It felt like I was a step ahead all night.
Is that anything coach has changed? Or something having to do with your teammates?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. Yeah. So we're good? Thank you, everybody.
持ってきた意味とかね。しかも持って帰らん手がなくね、そもそも。さあ、じゃあ次もお楽しみに。またね。